Hey, I'm Melissa, and this is Real Questions Real Quick, where we answer real questions from you really quick. Our first question comes from Bridget on Instagram. Question 1. What does the Bible say about true worship? When it comes to worship, we can get caught up in where we worship, what music we use, and how our worship might look to those around us. But those considerations totally miss the point of worship. Our worship should be God-centered. Romans 12:1-2 gives us a great description of true worship. I appeal to you, therefore, brothers, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your spiritual worship. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. There are 3 elements of worship described here. The mercies of God is our motivation, to show gratitude for all the things God has given us that we don't deserve. Our bodies serve as a living sacrifice to God, meaning that we give God every part of us, our mind, heart, body, and soul. And finally, we renew our minds by reading God's Word, the Bible, and allow ourselves to be transformed for the better. No matter how you express your worship, as long as you are centered on God, then He hears you and is honored by it. Our next question comes from our friend Valentino on Instagram. Question 2. Should we trust all the visions people are having about the end of the world lately? Those claims do seem to be popping up a lot lately, don't they? 1 John 4:1-6 gives us some great advice, and if you want the full biblical context, pause the video and click the link up here to read it. No, we really can't trust others' visions, even if they say they're from God. Not everything is from God, and Satan would love to make us worry, doubt, and be scared by his lies. The Bible tells us that God is sovereign, which means that He knows everything that goes on and doesn't allow anything to happen without His permission. Because He loves us, we can trust that God is in control. As we wait for Christ to return, we ought to focus less on tomorrow and more on living our lives for Him today. We'd like to encourage you to look up Matthew 6:25-34. Jesus has some great words of encouragement for you there. Our last question comes from Kamahelo on Instagram. Question 3. How do you know if it's time to leave a church? The Bible makes the purpose of the church very clear. Churches ought to serve as a pillar of truth as they equip, encourage, and unite believers. Everything from teaching to worship to programs and activities should be centered on practicing and conveying biblical truth. But not all churches do. If something seems off, it's wise to evaluate your church for red flags. 3 big red flags are lack of biblical foundation, manipulative or abusive leadership, and an unmerciful or unusually judgmental congregation. If church leadership becomes corrupt, that will have a negative effect on everyone under their influence. The church should recognize and submit to Jesus Christ as its one and only head, and all leadership should submit to God's authority. If the members of a church are particularly judgmental or show little mercy for others, that kind of environment can become toxic. Forgiveness, love, and unity are to characterize believers, not bitterness and division. Some other warning signs are lack of focus on serving others, excessive commands to contribute financially, or even worshiping or praying to the dead. If you feel it's crucial to leave a church, be sure to do so without causing unnecessary division or controversy. Use Ephesians 4:11-14 as a guide as you look for a new place of learning and worship. This has been Real Questions Real Quick. Thank you to everyone who sent us questions for this episode, and you can leave your questions in the comments below, DM us on Instagram, or visit 412teens.org to search for more answers to life's spiritual questions.